Hi everyone, it's Taylor. Welcome back to my channel. I'm an American expat living in Malaysia, and I like to share my life and travels with you. Today I'm going to talk about the latest in MM2H updates. There isn't much, and some of it's rumor and some of it's real, but if you're interested, stay tuned. Hi guys! Before I get started on today's video, I wanted to tell you about an exciting thing that's happening. I've been invited to be a guest speaker at the Nomad Capitalist Live 2023 right here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. It's going to be from September 6th through 9th, 2023. I'm sure many of my viewers are familiar with Andrew Henderson from the Nomad Capitalist YouTube channel. They reached out to me to give a talk to their distinguished guests about expat life in Malaysia. I'll be sharing my experiences with a group of global citizens. Nomad Capitalist Live 2023 is the world's foremost gathering of its type, where you will learn about second citizenship, legal offshore tax strategies, international investing, and the nomad capitalist lifestyle. As I said, this event will be held from September 6th through 9th at the Majestic Hotel in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. The Majestic Hotel is unrivaled in colonial luxury and is a National Heritage Site. Savor the history of this hidden gem with views of the city in tasteful luxury, with easy access to KL's business district. Nomad Capitalist has reserved the entire hotel exclusively for attendees of the event. Enjoy 5-star service alongside the world's most elite group of global citizens. Check out the links in the description below for further information or to purchase tickets. Once again, I'm so grateful to Andrew Henderson and Nomad Capitalist for reaching out to me to speak at their event, and I hope to see you there. I'm sorry I haven't talked much about MM2H lately, but that's because frankly not much is happening. There's hardly any new news. But I thought I would tell you what I know now, just to give you an update. I've been busy with my sister and brother-in-law's visit to Southeast Asia. Boy, that was fun. If you haven't seen those videos, you should look for them. A couple of weeks ago, the government minister on Home Affairs was reported as delivering some information about the new MM2H program and how it's working out. You know, the one with the #1,000,000 ringgit fixed deposit? And the 40,000 monthly income requirements? Yeah, that one. Well, anyway, he said it's a resounding success. The minister said there's been 375 approved applications since the new requirements were put into place some 20 months ago. Well, 375 doesn't sound like a lot to me. It actually compares to 6,000 approved applications in a similar period before the changes were made. Now, I don't know, 375 or 6,000, which sounds like it's more successful to you? Certainly, the spending of 6,000 applicants would far exceed 375 applicants, no matter how much more money they had. It's just simple math, if you ask me. And it's hard to imagine how these 375 approved applications have generated #1 billion ringgit in revenue for the country. I don't know how he came up with that number, but it doesn't sound right to me. For one thing, the outrageous 1 million ringgit requirement for a fixed deposit is in the bank, in these applicants' own accounts. It's not in Malaysia's coffers, so I don't know how they count that towards it at all. Just because it's residing in a Malaysian bank, I guess that has some effect, but really, it's not Malaysia's money. It's still the applicant's money. I heard that many people already in the MM2H program, like me, said that they could fulfill the 40 ringgit a month income requirement. Not me, of course, but many could. But they don't want to tie up #1 million ringgit in a bank at just a 2 or 3% interest rate. That money could earn much more for them in other ways, I'm sure. When I did it, it was only 150,000 ringgit required fixed deposit. Now that's doable for many more people than 1 million. The new rules also have the effect of turning otherwise enthusiastic retirees off on Malaysia. because it just looked like the government just didn't want us anymore. I remember how confusing and upsetting it was when I first got the news. Oh my gosh, I thought I was going to have to leave the country. Luckily, they grandfathered the existing participants in the program into whatever rules were applied when they applied. So, for now at least, I'm safe. But who knows, they could change that someday too. And that gives people sort of a mixed message. Do they want me? Do they not want me? MM2H used to be a very welcoming program, beloved by many people in the world. It's also been stated that over 2,000 MM2H existing participants have left the program because they no longer felt welcome or they just were unsure about what was going to happen to them if they stayed in Malaysia. Now that's really sad. I kind of felt that way too, but I decided to stick it out and hope, keep my fingers crossed, that the government was going to change the rules and make it easier for people to move here and retire. After all, it's a great place to live. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of the requirements, as I have other videos about that you could watch. I'll list them in the description below. It's just hard to believe that the government can consider 6,000 approved applicants dropping to 375 makes the program a success by any measure. As I've said previously many times, I do not like to criticize the government here. After all, I'm a guest in this country, and what they do is their business. But I still feel strongly about this, and I felt like I needed to speak up. Malaysia used to be considered routinely one of the top 10 destinations for retirement in the world, if not in the top 5, if not the top 1. But not anymore. I'm afraid that's changed completely. Malaysia remains a wonderful place to retire to and live, and I just wish more people would be able to experience it, and hopefully they will be in the future. I realize it's hard for a government to admit it's made a mistake about something. Heaven knows that happens all the time, worldwide. But I really think they should look into changing the rules back to the way they were, or at least much more favorably than they are now. As you all know, I've lived in Malaysia for 9 years now, and I consider it my home, not my second home. So it's frightening to think that I could be asked to leave at some point. I certainly hope that never happens. Now, I'm going to talk about some rumors I've heard. Now, they're not just like from one person, and I think rumors often have a basis in fact. At least I hope so. But anyway, before I get to the rumors, I'm going to give you this montage of my 9 years in Malaysia to show you how wonderful it is. I hope you enjoy it. Well, I hope you enjoyed that montage of my life in Malaysia so far. It's been wonderful, like I said. Now I'll get to the rumors. I've heard from more than one person that the government is going to reassess the program in the fall. Now, I certainly hope they do. While there's no official source for this information, let's hope they do it. I'm so anxious for them to change the rules. At least look at it. That's what I say. Now, this isn't a rumor. This is true. Sabah is about to launch their own MM2H program. They've been talking about it for quite a while, and I think they're just trying to get all the details worked out. But I think it's going to be very similar to Sarawak's, with a much lower requirements. Anyway, from what I understand, it's going to be similar to Sarawak's, but they're not sure whether they're going to require purchase of a property or not. I think that's all they're debating about now. At least that's what I've heard, but that's a rumor too, so take it for what it is. I also heard something from a viewer, which I found very interesting and encouraging. As you may know, every state in Malaysia has a sultan, and they rotate being king for a period of 5 years each. While it's true that the kings don't have tremendous influence over the government, they can make their opinions known, and they are respected and listened to. Here's what one of my viewers told me. The current Agong, or king, started his reign in 2019. That means in 2024 it will be up for change. According to my viewer, who must be Malaysian, because I couldn't really find any information on this, but he says the next sultan in line is the Sultan of Johor. Now that would be great news. The Sultan of Johor has considerable business interests, and his state is such a haven for MM2Hers that it's really hurting with the new rules. He's been a very vocal critic of the new rules from the start. So hopefully when he's king, he'll be able to apply some pressure to the government. The bottom line is, the new MM2H requirements have been soundly criticized by both Malaysians and expats alike. Now, to be fair, some people like the new rules and think it's a good thing for the country. I happen to disagree, however, because although they call the new people quality people, money has never equated quality to me. Most Malaysians have generally positive feelings about the MM2H program, at least most people I've met. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video, or if not enjoyed it, at least got something out of it, because it's not all good news. But I just felt it was time to address MM2H, since I really haven't talked about it in a while. If you did get something out of this video, please like and subscribe, and check the notification bell too, so you won't miss any of my future videos. I've been so happy with my increase in viewership lately. It's just amazing to me, and thank you all so much for subscribing and continuing to watch my videos. I truly hope that the next news about MM2H will be more of a positive nature, and something we can all get excited about. But until then, we just have to keep our fingers crossed. Well, that's all I have for today, everybody. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!